Thanks, Ed. I'm pleased to be here to provide the annual report of the CPA Examination Review Board. I believe that you all have a copy of our report, which you can review at your convenience. We're pleased to report that we are giving an unqualified opinion of the appropriateness of the procedures and the policies of the preparation, the grading, and the administration of the CPA exam and the IQEX exams. I would be remiss if I didn't give appropriate credit to the other members of the ERB. We have a total of 5 members. Doug Warren this year is vice chair. He'll be chair next year. Whit Broom, Henry Crostich, and Kitty Pumphrey. They're a great group to serve with, and we've had a great year. The heavy lifting that goes on with our committee comes from our staff. We have a director, Anita Porter, and audit manager, Sean Jackson. They bring a unique set of skills that really support our board with their year-round work, and they help us fulfill our obligations to the state boards. We would also like to thank NASBA, the AICPA exams team, and Prometric for their cooperation and assistance in helping us do our work. The ERB is established by the NASBA bylaws and is also included in the CBT contract. Is this not working? Our charge is to review, evaluate, and report on the appropriateness of the procedures, the policies that are utilized for the preparation, grading, and administration of the exam that is relied upon by the state boards to issue licenses to CPAs. We do this by examining records, making observations, making inquiries, and making inspections. In today's environment, IT breaches are a constant threat, and we would like to share some of the aspects that we as the ERB review in our processes. When you look at IT risks today, you have fears of data breaches, insider fraud, service outages, and processing errors that can all have an impact on the exam itself. It can create reputation loss, reissuing scores, additional costs, lost revenue, and the state boards relying on faulty information. Our ERB approach and our guidance, we use the Deloitte integrated audit methodology. We rely on the AICPA Trust Service Principles and Criteria, the SSAE 16 guidelines, the ISO 27001, and the COBIT. We also rely heavily on the Handbook for Test Development, the standards for educational and psychological testing, and we also utilize the best industry practices as it relates to assurance services and high-stakes testing. When you look at the structure, the pervasive general IT controls are really the foundation. that the business process controls are operating through, and so the systems are really important to, in effect, rely on the controls that are with the IT systems. When you look at the two, the general IT controls and the business process controls, the two, in effect, by looking at one, many times you reflect into the other, and so they really shed light on each other as you go through the process. This is a good example of why it's so important to have a good foundation. As you can see, the foundation we have here has some cracks in it, which isn't the case of what we've found this year in our review of the three parties. But the pervasive controls that you use for this foundation are logical security, physical security, system development life cycle, and the system and data backup and recovery. When you look at, in our particular instance, when we're testing the controls, we'll look at the SOC reports, we'll look at the AT 101 agreed upon procedures report, the ISO 27001 certification, and the penetration testing that occurs during the year. And we also rely on the AI CPA internal audit risk and compliance procedures. Another important aspect really is the logical and physical security. We review users, passwords, requirements, storage, the servers, the firewall, the router, the switch configurations, patch management whenever there are changes to programs, and the controls that are exercised over those patches. Obviously, outward facing with the website interfaces. Encryption is a very important factor, not only for transmitting data, but also while that data is in rest to make sure that, that the integrity of the data continues to remain. Obviously, look at antivirus and malware protection for the systems, and then really the physical access to the system by personnel. When you look at system development and the life cycle, each of these processes require very careful control as you plan, as you are tracking, as you're testing this, and obviously all the time looking for segregation of duties and the appropriate approval levels before the implementation of systems. We also look at the backup of the systems and data, the escrow of the systems and the data, and then the annual testing that we do on the updates of the business continuity plans and the backup and recovery plans. Our approach on the business process controls or transactions, we obviously review the test preparation with those items. We review the test administration and the grading, which the grading really ends up being the test scoring, the establishment of the passing scores, the reporting of the test results, and all the technical reports that are prepared in association with the exam. So when you look at it with the IT systems, they are truly the foundation that the business process controls rely on and help us, in effect, protect the integrity of those business systems. Some of the systems that you look at, we've got the FTP folders, we've got the gateway national database. We have production facilities. We have backup facilities, employee workstations, servers, file managers, network drives, test centers, back-end systems, the item bank software, the quality control labs, and mobile devices. In summary, we review, we evaluate, and we report to the state boards. And we review the preparation, we review the grading, and the administration of the exam. And we do this by examining records, making observations, inspections, and inquiries. And all this process is really designed so that you as state boards can rely on the CPA exam and the IQEX exam for licensing and our work towards making sure that we have a legally defensible exam. At this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I guess we have none.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Ed.